Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. Something like that. Something like that is what I was going for. And I think I figured out some of my confusion. Those should be plus zeros instead. So we have this constant signal coming in. Do we need that anymore? Yes, we do. We need the constant signal coming in. Writing that to that, and that is giving us basically just a tick count because that's going to update every tick. That goes into this. I sped it up a little bit. I'm doing a mod 20, so that is translating over into a second. We have our second counter right here. And we are doing a mod 4 of that. So basically, just to bring it back to reality here, if we go... we set that to 60. That makes it to where these things are going to tick every 60 ticks, game ticks, which turns out to be, if you're running at 60 UPS, updates per second, 60 of those ticks is going to be 1 second. So you can kind of see we're doing 1 second right there. That is this tick count, and let's just multiply it by 0 and put the adder again so we can kind of see it going. That's how fast the ticks are going if you watch that T on the right. And, okay, so we're basically taking that and doing a mod 60 of that to get our seconds. So every time this one equals 1, and that would probably work if we set it to 0 again, which is why I was getting confused, was because we were adding that +1 there, and so that was never true. So this is just counting from 1 to 60 really quick. And every time that it hits 0, it's going to send an S signal out. That's going to go to this one, and let's just reset it real quick. So that's going to tick the seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is saying we're doing a mod 4 on that second count. So every 4 seconds, we want to output a that value as C. So we're coming up here with C equals 0 on these first 4. They will light up. Or on these first 3, they will light up. On the next 3, we have C equals 1, C equals 2, and then C equals 3. And then we're starting it all over again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way around. And since 108 is divisible by 12... that just works out perfectly. So yeah, we have these going around now. Now I don't like that there, out here in the middle of everything. So we should be able to just take this and move it off. We'll move it off like right here in the corner. That's fine. We can go ahead and get rid of this. And then we should be able to just plug this into there, and it'll start back up. Cool. And yeah, I had this knocked down a little bit. I think I had it set to, like, I don't know, let's do 25. And by lowering that value, that's making the seconds tick by faster. We're doing it every 25 ticks instead of every 60 ticks. So it's a little bit less than half of a second. Let's speed that up just a little bit more. There we go. Actually, that's making me dizzy. Let's just do half a second. Very nice. And if we wanted to, we could even add a little bit of color. Let's see, we can do that right here, right? If we just hook those two up and output blue. Oh, I made that red for some reason. Oh yeah, now I don't like that blue at all. Gray? No, gray is white. Okay. What is white? White is white. Teal? Oh. Nope. Yellow. Green? Red? Black. Can we do a black light? No. I think I'm going to go with just white. I think white will work just fine. All right. Sorry, I'm a little bit picky on my colors. But we have a rocket. We have a rocket, and it is ready to go. It has a satellite in it. Let's, well, do we want to do that now? Do we want to do that now and then go have a look around the base? Or, you know what? Let's launch it now. Let's launch it now. Go ahead and launch that. And then we will, we'll do a little tour of the base and have a look around. And we'll come back and launch another one. Because we do want to see if this science system works. Okay, there goes the rocket, and you have to run up with it because that is what you do. Whee! 54 hours we've spent on that. Wow. Wow, that seems crazy to me. Well, yeah, okay, so let's continue. And 54 hours, wow. That's... I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at Practical Factorio and see... Oh. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so here comes our science. It is good to go. All right, let's get some science. Let's do the next level of mining productivity, which is... Did I read that right? Is that 1,500? That's 1,500. Is it 1,000 comes out? I don't remember. I think it is 1,000. So we'll probably have to launch another rocket in order to finish that up. But let's just have a look-see here. Our science coming down on the line. Oh, we're going to beat it. And yeah, I don't feel like waiting. Maybe that should have been blue after all. Hindsight being 2020. But you know, we're not in any rush to do science. There's no real emergency. Okay, let's head on down. And yeah, just kind of do a little bit of a look over the base and reminisce. Let's start at the bottom here and work our way up. Sounds reasonable. We've got our power right here, where we are disposing of our wood. Unfortunately, I don't think any of that wood is going to be disposed for a while because we are just so good on power right now. Oh, I guess it wouldn't make sense to check down here. We'd actually want to look at our base power, which would be up here. Yeah, we're doing very, very, very excellent on power, but we do have it set up where it will kick in should we ever need a little bit of a steam backup, like if we were to like double our base or something like that. Train station, not bad. I feel like there's some more work that could have been done here. Maybe make it look a little bit nicer. We got our safe crossings and stuff that work. That is very nice. Signals going out. This one down here doesn't quite line up right. Well, maybe I fixed that. No, this is the one right here. It doesn't quite line up right. But, you know, hey, what are you going to do? Okay, so our uranium setup here. This... I don't want to leave it like that. Can't leave it like this. Nope. Not on my watch. Yeah, so it wouldn't really even make any sense to have that be a crossing at all. These gates have no purpose. Refined concrete all the way through. No need for caution. We're just gonna do this. Regular cement up here. In some pattern sort of like that. And let's see, you're gonna be regular, and you're gonna be regular, and you're gonna be regular like that. All right, that'll take care of that over time. Oh, what do we have going on here? This isn't right. There we go. Actually, let's just round off this corner. All right. So where were we? Yeah, okay, so the uranium train is good. We've got it's been working well since we've got it all figured out. The sulfuric acid comes in here and waits till it gets 40 loaded into the train. Once 40 is loaded into the train, it sends a signal to send it off. This combinator basically counts what's coming into the train, and when that's all done, this combinator right here sends out an X when we have filled that train up, and this station goes out. This train goes out when X is greater than 0. So as soon as it gets 40 in there, it should be getting an X signal and going out. I don't know how to read that. Okay, it's got 40. It's ready to go. Cool. All of our little trains have dingy-dingies on them that make sounds whenever they leave and enter the station. So if we send you on, dong. I like that. Yeah, that was very practical. Coal train, artillery train. You know what? I haven't been putting you on your rounds. Why don't you go on your rounds? You should have plenty of ammo and stuff. Artillery train, all that is going. He's got a round that he does around the wall that has these artillery stops that he's going to just go around the wall, stop at each one of them, and blow up any biters that get close. Speaking of the wall, these guys up here, we did switch out all of our ammunition. They have, well, we're still a little bit low on uranium ammo, it appears. We don't quite have these chests filled up yet. Some of them are filled up more than others. But we do have the uranium ammo up here, and it did work. So yeah, that ended up working out good, saving us a lot of work. Stone, copper, and iron ore coming in. Did 2 wagon trains this playthrough, and really, I mean, we're not. There were some times where it was a little bit iffy, but now that we're not, you know, sciencing a whole lot, it's working pretty well. I'm sure we're going to get back into a situation where we're going to be extremely low on iron here very, very shortly. But yeah, for the most part, I think the 2 cars were working really well. Granted, we've always had a backup of iron, and every now and then we'll get a backup of copper and things waiting here at our stacker. I think the real big challenge of having the 2 car trains was for things like the building train and the outpost updating, or outpost supply train. But really, I mean, it didn't really affect us that much. We were fine. There was a couple of situations where it was a little bit annoying, but for the most part, I think it worked out fairly well. All right, so the station, and yeah, this guy right here, our combinator, we can use to basically empty out all the ammo on the wall and refill it with a different type. So yeah, just by switching the request on this chest and the filter in that train and this combinator, we can basically switch out all of this ammo to piercing ammo on the wall. That's pretty cool. Okay, over here, our nuclear setup. I went a lot smaller in this installment than I did in the Practical Factorio series. I went around and kind of edited some of these paths just to kind of complete them a little bit, and it looks like I didn't do a very good job. Let's just go ahead and put kind of a terminal on the end of that. Yeah, so this has worked out a lot better. It looks like it's actually doing pretty well. How did that get in there? Guess that inserter there wasn't doing its job, or we got really lucky and got 2 of them at the same time. I guess that happens. But yeah, these we've got a reasonable amount of uranium, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and call that reasonable. What does nuclear fuel take? Nuclear fuel. Okay, it takes the good stuff. So if we get into producing that, we might want to do a little bit more Covarex, but for right now, I think this one right here has been more than adequate for the nuclear setup that we're doing. I did a 4-reactor setup in the Practical Factorio series. I had a design that I've been using for a very long time. Well, since nuclear power came out, it was like the first 4-reactor design. I split this one up a little bit. I had a little bit of an idea with something I wanted to do with this, and that never happened in this series, at least. It still may. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I went with this kind of crazy reactor setup. This was all supposed to be temporary right there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, let's terminal that off too. Petroleum is petroleum. Not very impractical at all. This is your standard 25, 21-3 setup. Very, very common. It's what I basically always use. Really, the most impractical thing I think we've done in this entire series is this monstrosity right here. Everything about this monstrosity. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. I don't know that I'm going to be barreling fluids in the future. I'm not sure that is going to be a very common practice. It was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun, kind of figuring all this out and setting up this crazy circuit contraption. Wow. Wow, it was fun. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Am I going to do it again? Oh my gosh, no. Not when I can just run 3 pipes up the main bus and just never worry about it again. I don't know. Never say never. You know where I think the complicating factor comes in is with doing it on the belts. That's the big complicating factor. I've played a little bit with it before in the past when you're using bots. That makes life just a ton easier. You don't have to worry about the counts or keeping track of it. If you've missed any of those episodes, basically we have this counter right here. You're picking up. Oh, you're. This is connected to the. This is connected to the outside network somehow. That's why it's picking up that 85 million. Oh, it's got the X signal from the train too. That's funny. That's really funny. It's also got the sulfuric acid. Anyway, if you ignore the bullets, the X signal, as well as all of the sulfuric acid barrels, these are counters. This is a counter right here that's basically keeping track of how many barrels of petroleum, water, and lubricant we currently have out on the system. And the system is basically these belts that come all the way up, as well as the buffers that are all in all the places that are unloading. So it's keeping account of all of the barrels of each fluid type that we have out there. And then as these machines pull these barrels off, or any of these machines pull the barrels off, they are going to... We are running low on petroleum up here for some reason. I wonder if we need to. I wonder if we need to update that count. If we're just not getting enough out there. Trying to get 800. Let's do 900 and see how that does. So yeah, this counter is basically keeping track of how many barrels we have on the system, and these inserters right now are reading that signal, and like in this case, it's saying if there are less than 900 petroleum barrels on the system, let's go ahead and empty out this chest and get some out there. These guys are also counting the barrels that they go out, which is going in and increasing the count. We have these inserters here as well. I'm sorry, these inserters up here that are basically trying to keep a buffer in these chests. Whenever this buffer gets too low, it activates these inserters, and they start filling up additional barrels. All the barrels go up, they get emptied, and this line right here is our barrel return, which basically takes the empty barrels, and I assume they get washed at some point. Maybe the unloaders have a little bit of a washing station in there. But they go through and push these guys back into where they can be refilled. System works. System works. Oh, we can kind of see our progress bar here that we are actually running a little bit low on petroleum and water. Okay, water just caught back up, but petroleum's a little bit low, and we are very low on empty barrels right now. Which, I don't know, it's still keeping up. Still keeping up, so it's fine. Smelting. Smelting is smelting. It's been doing really well for us. We've got 2 steel setups. We've got 4 iron. We've been able to make it this far off 4 iron setups, as well as 4 copper setups, and half stack of stone. And I think those are still stone furnaces, right? I mean, we haven't even upgraded or anything. Yeah, there's really no reason to. We probably actually have more stone furnaces than we actually need. We could probably get by with maybe half of that. All right, what's getting a little bit low there? Water's getting a little bit low there. Petroleum's getting very low. Is that a empty barrel thing? Yeah, we might have to get some more. We might have to get some more empty barrels on the system. But we do have a large amount coming back in. I guess it's really being eaten through at a large pace. All right, so let's enter the factory over here. We've got our sulfuric acid set up right here. This is the sulfuric acid we are using to mine out our uranium. It's barreling up sulfuric acid. It's a very similar system to what we have down there, except this is going down to the train to read the contents down there. We have each one of our fluid unbarrelers has one of these buffers. It has a counting system that it uses where it tries to keep 50 barrels on the line at any given time. And we subtract from that count whenever you pull those out. That signal goes out to the bus, to these wires on the line that say, hey, you know, give us more barrels. Or, you know, it shuts off the main and basically closes it off and won't let any more barrels pass until this station fills up. I don't know if that last part is maybe the wisest way to do it. Maybe just completely leaving this open, not closing it off, and just doing the halvesies might be a better way to do it. I think that may prevent the starvation we get at the end of the bus. But I mean, it's worked out. It's worked out okay, I guess. The mall's over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I've liked this mall design. I really have. Everything I know where it's at. It's a little bit unwieldy. It's a little bit large, but I like it. The recycling system with the buffer chest has worked out really well. Granted, I think we probably have a lot of stuff in those chests that it's probably not as efficient as the Sky Mall setup, but I don't know. I think it looks a lot better. And the blueprint version I did in my Kitch's Blueprint book series is a lot neater than this. I went through and optimized. I didn't want to come down and redo all this. Yeah, but we're the whole goal of one of the goals of this series was to basically only bus the basic materials and make everything else on site. And that's why we've got this monstrosity back here that is basically supplying everything we need to the mall. We haven't really wanted for anything in the mall, I don't think. I don't remember having to wait a long time for anything, so I think that's actually worked out pretty well. I'd call this setup somewhat battle-tested. I'd be curious in a mega base sort of situation where we were going and doing like just ludicrous amounts of like blue belt, how it would keep up, but I don't know. I'm confident. I'm confident it would be okay. Not any better or worse than the other malls, but yeah, we've got all our train station stuff and chests here. Logistics, circuit wires, things like that appears, whereas power poles, assembly machines on this side, and mining stuff down here. Inserters along the top, and belts along the side and the bottom. How are our buffer chests looking? I'd just like to look and see if there's what we basically forgot to make recyclers for. Basically just chips, it looks like. Chips, and we could send the wooden chests through the furnaces as well as the small power poles as fuel. We do have like a lot of rocket parts. I may, when we get to the end, I may set up recyclers for those just because. And I mean, we don't have them for red circuits and green circuits and blue circuits, but there's been so many times where I've been running through and saying, boy, I wish I had some of those. Where I'm fine having those in storage. Same thing with engines and electric engines. As long as the number's not getting crazy, I think it's fine. We do have a lot of bullets in storage, but those are being recycled in down here into making uranium ammo. They're going to this requester, and these factories are basically shut off until that chest is empty. We're starting to get a little bit of a buffer of uranium ammo. Not yet. It's going to take a while to reload all of our turrets around our entire base with uranium ammo. But we didn't use any laser turrets. It's all ammunition-fed turrets all around. We have a defensive mall. We did some combat robots. Didn't do really a lot of combat in this series, which is a shame. Because we have all of these combat robots. Maybe we'll go do something about that. And, of course, the nuclear/concrete mall up here worked out fairly well. I can't really complain. We had to do, I did some speed moduling here in order to just get concrete whenever we were, like, building the bus layout here. But, yeah, for the most part, I think it worked out pretty well. Little miscellaneous trash cans, which have been nice. Get rid of some of that stuff to demonstrate the use of the trash can. Robots. Got robots built right here. Again, we building everything for base materials, so all the base stuff needs to be. This is a mess. I think this could have been built a lot more compact, but we did not do that. Up here we have our artillery shells, same thing, just the base materials. I think that went okay. It had a little bit of silliness going on right here because I hadn't left a spot for my inserter, but it ended up working out okay. How are we doing on artillery shells? We've got 2 full chests, yeah. Hey, there's my car. Excellent, I'm gonna put it in my pocket. And then we get into our rocket parts, low density structures, and control units right here. Control units still looking a little bit hungry for stuff. But that should kick back on once we run out of science. Oh, actually, it looks like you're getting stuff right now. You're getting petroleum at least. Still a little bit low on water. Let's see, is anybody else grabbing water? Yeah, water's going over there. Yeah, we may need to bump up water as well. Okay, let's take a look over on this side. We have our science bus coming down this area right there. And it comes down and feeds into all of our science labs, which are doing okay, doing all right. So yeah, the first big challenge was getting all of our science built off of base materials. Red science was very easy. We just needed basically iron and copper, gears, one gear machine, and just a bunch of assembly machines making those. That's been fine. Same thing with green. Not too bad. A little bit more complex. We got a little bit of a build up here in order to support those. Just using the base materials. Up here, we have our military science, which I started out with really small and then expanded it as I realized that we used military science for a lot more than I'd originally thought. But yeah, no, it's kept up once we got it upgraded. And blue science is this whole area up here. It's a little bit more demanding than some of the other sciences that we have down there. But I don't know. I'm not too happy with this build. I think it could have been done a lot more compact. But it certainly works. It makes it look like it's a lot bigger than it actually is. Like if you look up here at the purple science and compare it to the blue science, you can see the fragmentation basically that I'm talking about. Speaking of purple science, yeah, the purple science setup right here. Basically all this just to make engines and what is it? It's just engines and electric furnaces. So yeah, the first time where we really get into, well, no, we were making reds down there. You know, one thing that I think is kind of interesting about this, what's going on here? You are pulling gears out into a requester, and you are our gear recycler. Interesting. I bet I had a really good reason for that at some point in time. Sure, I probably wanted to have gears in my inventory, so I put that there. Oh well. Oh well. Boy, have I been complaining about a lack of purple science? I don't think so. All right, but that goes over here, and we make our electric engines. Got plenty of those. Yellow science was a little bit more of a beast. I think that's definitely our largest science setup. Wow. All the blue circuits that are needed just require all this basically dedicated green and red circuits just to make the blue circuits to supply these guys. And these green and red circuits down here are just for supplying speed modules, which still quite aren't keeping up. But we are putting in the last bit right there of yellow science, so that'll stop that pretty quick. Ah, yeah, we got a battery puller router right here, too. I don't know, do we have a battery recycler? I'm not seeing any robots here, so I'm assuming that we do not. All right, so that's most of the science. What is this up here? Okay, this was modules. We built this whole facility right here, basically just to make power armor. Probably would have been quicker just to hand do it, but you know that would be practical. We're basically I converted it over just to make speed modules and productivity modules as we needed. If I decide to take this to the next level, probably have to amp this up a little bit or give at least a little bit more priority to it so we can get enough productivity modules up to get a. Basically, you need the productivity modules to create a productivity module factory. At least that's usually my first step when amping things up is to get those modules. They just help stuff so much. And what are you? You are satellites. You are satellites. We have 4 satellites, probably plus 1 in the can. Ooh, I was gonna fix that. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's flip you. do that right there. So solar panels, you'll split between that, and then once one of you are out, that will then go down to here where the radar can get some. All right, I'm hoping that'll work a little bit better. That's going to slow down blue circuits, but then speed up solar panels, and hopefully they will meet in the middle. But yeah, you've got everything else you need for satellites, and we're just using the logic bots to send those out. And yeah, control units over here, still needing water. Yeah, I think we just need to bump up the water count. Let's go do that real quick. Long way down here. All right, and let's see, water. You've got you set at 450. Are you meeting that condition? You are. Let's send that up to 550. So we'll throw an extra 100 out there and just see how that makes things works. And let's replace that with a stack inserter as well. And let's not have your stack size. Just get the barrels out. That's what we want. We just want those barrels out on that line. Actually, what's your stack size? 5. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's be reasonable about this. All right, over here, let's see. I don't think I mentioned the rocket fuel and the solid fuel. Nothing really to write home about there. Pretty basic stuff. Petroleum-wise, how are we doing? We're full. Yes, that should be the case. Input oil coming in. Completely full. How's this tank? Completely full. Heavy oil. Under 10K, which is what we want. If we get over 10K, it's going to start cracking. Same thing with you. You should be under 10K, and you are. As soon as we get over 10K light oil, we're going to start cracking it. But primarily, we want to use the light oil for producing solid fuel for rocket fuel. Our little beginner train, still running it. Might as well. No reason really not to. But yeah, no, I really like this base. It was a lot of fun. I started to get a little bit concerned with the series somewhere around Purple Science, I think. And started thinking, oh my, this is just going to keep growing and become more of a challenge. And as I was building the yellow science facility, I remember thinking, I'm going to need modules and rocket parts, and this is just going to keep growing and growing. But really, it wasn't that bad. I think I learned a little bit about the game, especially like production, how much you need in order to do things. Thinking about it ratio-wise, I mean, I build generally green circuit machines. I'll build green circuit machines until I see the bus lines aren't full anymore, and then I'll build more. And when they get really low, I'll maybe double it or something like that. And the same thing with reds. I'm always out of red circuits. Always out of red circuits. I don't remember complaining about red circuits once this entire game. Trees growing in the bus. I'm fine with it. All right, this little bus layout, I like it. It's worked out well. Don't know what that power pole's doing there. But yeah. What else do we have going on? Yeah, just basically the wall setup with the artillery train running on the outside. It's worked out fairly well. I didn't quite use my blueprints that I made in the blueprint book series. I did, but I converted them over from laser turrets to the manual turrets. The station, this is a heavily modified version of the station that Quarnosian sent in the Mega Basic series. It was started its life as a solar building station, but has since been modified, and now it is a wall supply station, and it's been a champ. It's been a champ. It's supplied our walls as well as all of our outposts. And you know what? I didn't really feel like I did a lot. I don't know what these storage chests are doing here. For those. I don't feel like I did a lot of running around in this episode nearly as much as I usually do. Granted, maybe I did a lot more of that in the Mega Basic series than I did in Practical Factorio, but yeah, I didn't feel like I ran around a lot, and but I do like having this setup here where we have the supply station, the building station, just an open station where our building train can always go to, and then the actual station itself. It's cheap and it makes things a lot easier. I remember there were a lot of times manually trying to pull in my building train into a station and get it to where it's not going to fill up with whatever garbage is going to be coming out. Yeah, this has worked out great. We've kept a little bit of a buffer going here. 40 barrels is what we need, and I think we've got 80 or 120. I don't remember is what we get out of this. No, I don't think we're counting it at all. We're just saying how many ever can fit on this line. So we do have a little bit of a backup. That's worked out pretty well. We did have to add an additional iron outpost, which surprising. Yeah, this one's worked out fine. There's still 3 million left, and we are doing mining productivity. I wanted to leave this bad boy right here, as well as let's see, what was the other big copper patch? This one? Yeah, I wanted to leave those behind, and research some mining productivity first before we attacked those in case we wanted to move to mega base status. We would have some good close by large iron deposits and copper deposits to go on, because these aren't going to last very long. Not very long at all. This one's only got 336k. Actually, as we start to develop more mining productivity, that 336k is going to be more and more. Uranium, I think we have enough for the rest of the game there. Stone, we'll probably have enough for the rest of the game there, and that oil is still doing pretty good. Still doing pretty good. Do we have any other oil on the map? Not really that we can see. Oh, there's some down there. Okay, yeah, but it doesn't look like it's as good as that one. Oh, there's a little bit there, but that's not significant. There may be some in some other areas that we may have to expand out to get a little bit better refinery system going, but yeah, rocket. We can delete that, and we can delete old Toto too, because we did that. Yeah, so that was that. It's a fun series. It's a very, very fun series. I had a really good time with it. It got me thinking very differently about this game than I normally do in a lot of circumstances, or in most of my playthroughs. I really kind of freshened it up a little bit. Just the vanilla Factorio, freshened that up again, and that's one thing I just truly love about this game. I've got a lot of hours in this game. A lot. There's a screenshot in a comment a couple of videos back where I posted a screenshot, and the number of subscribers I had at the time, which I think was like 1,128, was equal to the amount of hours that I had in Factorio, and I got my Steam account and my YouTube page right next to each other. One of those rare types of situations. I'm sure it's probably off now. I'll probably need to play some more Factorio or gain some more subscribers before that will happen again, but I don't know. I thought that was amusing. Thank you very much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I've had a lot of fun in this series, and I hope you have too. A little bit different, but nothing wrong with that. I'm never barreling fluids ever again. Never again. As I'm just looking at that and looking at these things dropping down, I'm having a little bit of anxiety. Yeah, we're going to start up another Factorio series here soon. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a couple of ideas for some series that I would like to do, but I'd be curious to hear what you would think. I would like to work off of this base and expand out a little bit more and get up to another goal with it. That is one idea that I have. Maybe not sticking with completely the Impractical theme, but yeah, I don't know that I want to go and try to do 1K science a second, or yeah, 1K science a minute doing this kind of stuff. I don't know. I think I'd probably rip all my hair out. But do something. Do something fun. Like maybe just launch like a ludicrous amounts of rockets. That's what I wanted to do in the Mega Basic series, but I chickened out at the last minute. But yeah, maybe something like that. And the other thing that I'm thinking about doing is a modded series, a modded playthrough. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's been any real updates as to when the next version of Factorio is going to come out. I still feel like we've got some time. So I was thinking about, we're at the point now where all the mods are probably updated and in really good shape. And I don't think I want to do any like major overhauls, anything like a Bob's or Angels. It's just Angels now, right? Any of those kind of playthroughs yet. Maybe one or two little things here or there, but there are just a million mods for this game. A lot of them that have been suggested, a lot of them I've used in the past, and I don't know, just doing a playthrough with some of those installed. There's enough there, I think, to change the game in ways that would make it interesting without necessarily having to do like a complete overhaul. Where kind of like, imagine like every episode we add a new mod or highlight a new mod or something like that. Just going through the mods page and downloading things that sound interesting. We'll throw them in the game and try them out, and that sort of thing is what I'm thinking of. Starting small and then building to the end. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. All I know is that there is going to be another Factorio series starting here very soon. But thank you very much for watching this one. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Have a good one.